Everyone, my name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. As a reminder, I do every video in English and Spanish, and the degree theory is based on modern Western astrology using the Placidus House system. In today's video, I wanted to address two subjects, anxiety and sleep, according to the degree theory. Now, I had a viewer who left a comment that she was going through a lot of anxiety and wasn't sleeping well, and if I could do a video on this subject. And of course, I'm more than willing to help. So before I discuss the astrological aspects, I need to remind you all that I am not, here's the medical disclaimer, right? I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm nowhere even remotely related to the medical profession. So, as always, consult your primary care physician or whoever, um, handles your healthcare, right? So, okay, having said this, I will discuss the astrological aspects that can cause anxiety or sleep disturbances. So, we have two main culprits. Number one is Mars, and number two is Uranus. Now, there are also houses where planets are located or transiting. So, what I'm about to say applies for the natal placement as well as if you're going through a transit. The main house for sleep is the 12th house. Now, what I'm about to discuss is obviously, according to the degree theory, I'm going to give you guys remedies so that hopefully things can, it can help. Given the state of events that the world is in, I can see where a lot of people are having anxiety and sleep disorders. So let's start with Mars. Overall, Mars is the planet of energy, of just being active. So if you have a Mars placement, for example, in the 12th house, it's going to make you more active at night. So the other houses that I wanted to touch base on, the most important houses are the first house, because that's your body, that's you. The third house, because it rules your mental energy, your mental thoughts. Obviously, the sixth house, because it's health, and the 12th house, because it's the house of chronic health issues, and also the house of sleep. So the first house is your physical body, right? So, like I said, the third house, your mind, sixth house, your health and health routines, and the 12th house is where you need the rest, the sleep, the solitude. It's your bedroom. If you have Mars in any of these, or Mars is aspecting the ruler of your 12th house, um, or it is transiting through your 12th house, this is going to make you very restless, very active at night, and it could be very disruptive for sleep. Um, Remember that Mars rules the adrenal glands, the cortisol. So if the cortisol is high, you cannot, you have trouble sleeping, right? So let's start with Uranus. If you have Uranus in in any one of the four houses that I mentioned, the first, the third, the sixth, or the 12th, then, chances are that you suffer from anxiety, especially if it is in hard aspects. Hard aspects are a square, which is the worst, or an opposition. So if Uranus is an aspect to your chart ruler, which is the ruler of your rising sign or ascendant sign, and the ruler of the third house, because your mind can be racing, you can be going super fast, just thinking a lot of things at the same time, and then that gets you all wound up. Um, The ruler, if Uranus is an aspect to the ruler of your sixth house, then it can affect obviously your health because it can, bring on anxiety. Or the ruler of the 12th house. So sleep can be affected. So for example, if you have Mercury in the 12th house and it is squared by Uranus, your mind is always active at night, right? So we're going to discuss remedies for the first house. If Uranus is in the first house, that means that you should wear something blue because Uranus rules the color blue, or a zodiac sign, like put a pendant on that has a zodiac symbol on it. If it is aspecting the third house, then a screensaver, either on your computer, on your phone, with airplanes. Uranus rules airplanes, clouds, the sky, eh, anything that's high, um, electricity as well, maybe bolts of lightning in that screensaver, like a storm, right? If Uranus is aspecting the ruler of the sixth house, now this one can be a little bit difficult because the only thing that I could think of as a type of exercise to do if Uranus is either um, in your sixth house or transiting through your sixth house, which means there's going to be changes in your health. Um, the only thing I can think of as far as a exercise, a Uranus thing is hiking, something high. Rules altitude. So that's the only exercise that comes to mind. If you guys think of any other exercise that are done in altitudes, let me know. Skiing would be Capricorn, so Saturn rules ice and snow. So I don't think skiing is one of those things that would help. But anyway, if you have Uranus transiting or in your natal 12th house, then the remedy is to paint your room, your bedroom, because the 12th house rules the bedroom blue, or have bed sheets that are blue, or have airplanes on them, or zodiac signs on them. If you have a two-story house, then or apartment or townhome, something like that, you should sleep on the second floor. The idea is if Uranus is in the 12th to sleep closer to the ceiling than to the floor. So, right, you want to sleep something high. Now, remedies for the 12th house if the 12th house begins in a certain sign, right? So if it begins in Aries, you can have, if it's Mars in Aries, you can have red scissors or a red knife under your mattress. Now, if you have kids, make sure that they can't get to these. Otherwise, then maybe try a picture of a red knife or a picture of red scissors or scissors with red handles and put it under your mattress, okay? Because, you don't want your kids getting to it. Now, if the 12th house cusp is in Taurus, you guys really don't need a remedy because you should be sleeping really well. Venus rules Taurus, so just make your room very pleasant, very pretty. Nice bed sheets, nice to the touch, like a higher thread count. Um, Egyptian cotton, I mean, silk sheets, whatever makes you feel very comfortable, very luxurious, right? For the 12th house cusp in Gemini, meaning your 12th house starts in Gemini, do not sleep with any electronics on your bed. That means no phone, no laptop, no tablet, uh, nothing electronic. Leave them out in the dining room or living room, wherever, but not in the bedroom. Disconnect electronically. Maybe have some books that you read, or you write in a journal about your day. Very positive thoughts, like very creative thoughts in that journal. For Cancer, the moon rules Cancer. So again, you guys should not have a problem sleeping unless you're angry. If you're angry, your emotions are all over the place, then you're going to have issues with sleeping. So in that case, you could put a glass of water next to your nightstand. Okay. Because the moon rules liquids, it rules water. Now, for Leo on the 12th house cusp, there's really, the sun, it's equivalent to having the sun in the 12th house. So what you could do as a remedy is have lots of mirrors in your bedroom. Also, if you have the sun in the 12th house or a Leo cusp on the 12th house, then when you get up, assuming that of course you get up early, go outside and get the first 10, 15 minutes of that sunlight, that sun rising. And the same thing with sundown, like sunset. Get the last 10, 15 minutes of sun. So, because the 12th house is everything that's hidden, everything that's, isolated. So having that sun in the 12th house, number one, makes you a very shy person. But secondly, you need that sunlight to kind of bring the mood up, to get you in a more positive mind frame. Now, for Virgo, the 12th house cusp in Virgo, you guys are ruled by Mercury. So again, no work in the bedroom. Don't work from your bedroom. Don't have anything from work in the bedroom. Otherwise, I don't think you guys are having much of a problem. But the room does need to be organized. It has to be neat. It has to be clean. That's a Virgo thing. Now, for the 12th house cusp in Libra, Libra needs a partner to sleep well. Um, they don't like to be alone. They like to always, have the husband, the wife, the spouse, or if not, try bringing in your pet with you in the bedroom, right? They can sleep on the floor. They don't need to sleep on the bed, but maybe you need companionship when you sleep, or you can put pictures or paintings of couples in the bedroom, like you know, people that are dating, or Snow White with the prince or something like that, right? Pictures of couples in the bedroom. Scorpio. If you have the 12th house cusp in Scorpio, these people are prone to nightmares of being killed or killing someone. So this can also make you a bit of a psychic. Scorpio in the 12th is one of the water houses, so you are a bit psychic. Of course, other indicators in your chart need to be present, but for you guys, if you put pictures of snakes or a picture of a desert, painting of a desert, things that are ruled by Scorpio, a scorpion, in your bedroom on the walls, hopefully that will absorb some of the energy from Scorpio. Now, for Sag, the 12th house cusp in Sag, you guys shouldn't have any, sleep issues, period, because you guys are ruled by Jupiter. So, you guys, you sleep, you know, the angels watch over you, because if you have the 12th house in Sagittarius, actually, you have angels that watch over you. For Capricorn, the 12,000 Cap, you guys are ruled by Saturn, so this should be really, really solid sleep. I have Saturn in the 12th, and give me 2 hours worth of sleep. It is solid. Nothing can wake me up. After that, that's a different story. But it's, but in case your Saturn is afflicted, then put a clock in your bedroom. or sleep on a solid wooden frame. None of this pressed wood crap that you find at, stores. You need a real wood frame. Or you have a clock because Saturn rules time and Saturn also rules wood. In your bedroom, you could put stones, like real stones, rocks, because Saturn rules rocks and stones as well. I mean, if you want to go semi-precious or whatever, that's up to you, but just plain and simple, put them in your bedroom. Aquarius. Now, Aquarius, you were ruled by Uranus. So Aquarius in the 12th house, this is where blue room, the sheets with the zodiac sign or airplanes, paintings of the sky with clouds, um, you know, anything that electricity, like a storm, a painting of a storm with lightning bolts, that's Uranus. Now, if you have Pisces in the 12th house cusp, again, you should not have any issues sleeping whatsoever. Neptune brings pretty dreams, beautiful dreams, maybe even prophetic dreams if it's your moon that's aspected by Neptune. Um, so obviously, if you have planets in the 12th house, now there are good planets and there are difficult planets. Good planets, Venus, Jupiter, Mercury, and I think Saturn would be good. Actually, it's the place of joy for Saturn. Saturn in the 12th, it's happy. That's where Saturn is. You should not have a problem. You should be dead to the world when you sleep. Although having Saturn in the 12th is not great for karma because you have a very karmic life. Now, the ones that are, you know, Pluto. Pluto, if you have Pluto in the 12th, then psychic things can happen, night terrors, nightmares. So again, paintings of the desert, paintings of cactuses, um, paintings of snakes, of scorpions, something to that effect to absorb the energy of Pluto. If you have Neptune, well, sea themes, ocean themes, island themes should be good for sleep. But again, you guys should be having amazing dreams. So now, um, if you have the sun, like I said, in the 12th house, then you need the natural sunlight. Eh, 10, 15, 20 minutes in the morning to get that energy from the sun as the sun rises, and then again at sunset. If you have the moon in the 12th house, um, again, you should not have any issues with sleep. And if you do, put a glass of water in a nightstand. The full moon may affect you though. The full moon might, yeah, and going to bed angry. Those are the things that, can bother you. But the moon in the 12th house brings intuition. Um, the dreams should be really pretty as well. So, Mercury. If Mercury uh is in a fire sign, or Mars or Uranus is in a fire sign, then the mind is racing. It's constantly going, especially in the evening, right? So again, no electronics in the bedroom, no phone, no computer, no tablet. Um, Maybe a picture or a painting of a volcano. Um, Something hot. One of those, oh my God, those circles that they do to do the s'mores. A fire pit. Okay, a fire pit. A painting of a fire pit in your bedroom. Venus, again, no issues, pretty good sleeper. You need a partner. or if not, like I said, pictures of couples in your bedroom. Now, Mars. Mars in the 12, this is again one of the two main culprits. Like I said, Mars and Uranus. So, um, you should exercise during the day to use up that energy. Now, depending on what kind of exercise you can do, obviously you can consult your doctor, but even yoga, tai chi, which are pretty, well, yoga can be intense. It depends on what type of yoga you do. But Tai Chi is pretty mellow. You can do ballet. You can do some walk, just walking. It doesn't have to be that you are racing, right? That you're running a marathon mile or anything like that. No, but you need to do some kind of movement to burn up that energy. Because remember, the 12th house is in opposition to the 6th house, right? Which you should do on a daily basis. So you should exercise. However based on your physical capabilities. So again, always consult your doctor, your primary care physician to see what kind of exercises you can do, chair yoga or anything, to try to help calm that Mars in the 12th house. Now, Jupiter in the 12th, again, pretty good sleeper. If anything, put a picture of a horse in your bedroom because Jupiter rules horses. A Saturn should be, again, like I said, I have Saturn in the 12th and I sleep really, really well. But if your Saturn is afflicted, then come up with a sleep routine. Be disciplined, you're going to be sleeping alone. Make the room very cold. Because Saturn rules cold. It rules, snow, it rules ice. Like I said, a clock in the bedroom, a real wood frame for the bed. A, when you have Saturn in the 12th, the only issue that I find is like dream recall can be a problem. Like you don't remember your dreams. You say you don't dream. Hello. But but you do. Or and then when you wake up, you maybe remember it for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then gone. So make sure you write it down really, really quick. And then, of course, Uranus, you wake up a lot, right? And you're restless during the night. So make sure that so if you have Uranus in the 12th, again, the blue sheets, the blue painting the room blue, pictures of either thunderstorms, lightning bolts, zodiac signs, airplanes, sleeping closer to the ceiling than the floor. So with this, I conclude the video. I hope that you guys can use this information if you do have anxiety or you have sleep disorders, and I hope it helps you. As always, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Send it to somebody else that they might have the same issue as you, sleep disturbances. And subscribe to the channel, please. As always, thank you for watching. And if you would like a chart reading with me, please send me an email to amaastrology@aol.com. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.